going to Germany and all over Europe because they're weak and they're ineffective. And Biden, by the way, is paying a lot of money.
Thank you. We have a lot of issues to get to.
We'll be right back with much more of this historic ABC News presidential debate from the National Constitution Center right here in Philadelphia. Back with
This presidential debate will continue after this.
I'm reloading!
Many, many billions. And when people see it, they are even surprised. So we don't have to talk about that. Fracking, she's been against it for 12 years. Defund the police, she's been against that forever. She gave all that stuff up very wrongly, very horribly, and everybody's laughing at it, okay? They're all laughing at it. She gave up at least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different policies, like she was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now. You don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar? She went out in Minnesota and wanted to let criminals that killed people, that burned down Minneapolis, she went out and raised money to get them out of jail. She did things that nobody would ever think of. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical left liberal that would do this. She wants to confiscate guns, and she will never allow fracking in Pennsylvania. If she won the election, fracking in Pennsylvania will end on day one. Just to finish, one thing so important in my opinion. So I got the oil business going like nobody has ever done before. When they took over, they got rid of it, started getting rid of it, and the prices were going up the roof. They immediately let these guys go to where they were. I would have been 5 times, 4 times, 5 times higher, because you're talking about 3.5 years ago. They got it up to where I was because they had no choice, because the prices of energy were quadrupling and doubling. You saw what happened to gasoline. So they said, let's go back to Trump. But if she won the election, the day after that election, they'll go back to destroying our country, and oil will be dead, fossil fuel will be dead, we'll go back to windmills, and we'll go back to solar, where they need a whole desert to get some energy to come out of it. You ever see a solar plant? By the way, I'm a big fan of solar, but they take 400, 500 acres of desert soil.
We have a lot of
These are not good
issues
things
that we
for the
have to get
environment.
to. We're out of time. Thank you.
Lindsay, thank you. We have an election in just 56 days, and I want to talk about the peaceful transfer of power, which, of course, we all know is a cornerstone of our democracy, and the role of a president in a moment of crisis. Mr. President, on January 6th, you told your supporters to march to the Capitol. You said you would be right there with them. The country and the world saw what played out at the Capitol that day, the officers coming under attack. Aides in the West Wing say you watched it unfold on television off the Oval Office. You did send out tweets, but it was more than 2 hours before you sent out that video message telling your supporters to go home. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day?
You just said a thing that isn't covered. Peacefully and patriotically, I said during my speech, not later on. Peacefully and patriotically. And nobody on the other side was killed. Ashley Babbitt was shot by an out-of-control police officer that should have never, ever shot her. It's a disgrace. But we didn't do this group of people that have been treated so badly. I ask, what about all the people that are pouring into our country and killing people that she allowed to pour in? She was the border czar, remember that. She was the border czar. She doesn't want to be called the border czar because she's embarrassed by the border. In fact, she said at the beginning, oh, I'm surprised you're not talking about the border yet. That's because she knows what a bad job they've done. What about those people? When are they going to be prosecuted? When are these people from countries all over the world, not just South America, they're coming in from all over the world, David, all over the world, and crime rates are down all over the world because of it.
But let me
when are those people going to be prosecuted? When are the people that burned down Minneapolis going to be prosecuted? Or in Seattle, they went into Seattle, they took over a big percentage of the city of Seattle. When are those people going to be prosecuted?
But let me just ask
you. You might ask her that question.
You were the president. You were watching it unfold on television. It's a very simple question as we move forward toward another election. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day? Yes or no?
I had nothing to do with that other than they asked me to make a speech. I showed up for a speech. I said, I think it's going to be big. I went to Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington, D.C., and the mayor put it back in writing, as you know. I said, you know, this is going to be a very big rally or whatever you want to call it. And again, it wasn't done by me. It was done by others. I said, I'd like to give you 10,000 National Guard or soldiers. They rejected me. Nancy Pelosi rejected me. It was just 2 weeks ago. Her daughter has a tape of her saying she is fully responsible for what happened. They want to get rid of that tape. It would have never happened if Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington did their jobs. I wasn't responsible for security. Nancy Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her job.
The question was about you as president, not about former Speaker Pelosi, but I do want to respond here.
I was at the Capitol on January 6th. I was the vice president-elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there. And on that day, the President of the United States incited a violent mob to attack our nation's capital, to desecrate our nation's capital. On that day, 140 law enforcement officers were injured, and some died. And understand, the former president has been indicted and impeached for exactly that reason. But this is not an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side. Let's remember that when it came to the Proud Boys, a militia, the former president said, stand back and stand by. So for everyone watching who remembers what January 6th was, I say, we don't have to go back. Let's not go back. We're not going back. It's time to turn the page. And if that was a bridge too far for you, well, there is a place in our campaign for you to stand for country, to stand for our democracy, to stand for rule of law, and to end the chaos, and to end the approach that is about attacking the foundations of our democracy because you don't like the outcome. And be clear on that point. Donald Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking. Let's turn the page on this. Let's not go back. Let's chart a course for the future and not go backwards to the past.
Let me just follow up here.
It was a different term, and it was a term that related to energy because they have destroyed our energy business. That was where bloodbath was. Also, on Charlottesville, that story has been, as you would say, debunked. Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, Jesse, all of these people, they covered it. If they go an extra sentence, they will see it was perfect. It was debunked in almost every newspaper, but they still bring it up, just like they bring 2025 up. They bring all of this stuff up. I ask you this, you talk about the Capitol. Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the southern border? How come she's not doing anything? And I'll tell you what I would do, and I would be very proud to do it. I would say we would both leave this debate right now. I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate, because we're wasting a lot of time. Go down to, because she's been so bad, it's so ridiculous. Go down to Washington, D.C. and let her sign a bill to close up the border, because they have the right to do it. They don't need bills. They have the right to do it. The President of the United States, you'll get him out of bed, you'll wake him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll say, come on down to the office, let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has to do is say it to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed. Those people are killing many people, unlike J6.
We talked immigration here tonight. I do want to focus on this next issue to both of you, because it really brings us this into focus, truth in these times that we're living in. Mr. President, for 3.5 years after you lost the 2020 election, you repeatedly falsely claimed that you won, many times saying you won in a landslide. In the past couple of weeks leading up to this debate, you have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short.
I said that?
Are you now acknowledging that you lost in 2020?
No, I don't acknowledge that at all. I said that sarcastically. You know that. It was said, oh, we lost by a whisker. That was said sarcastically. Look, there's so much proof. All you have to do is look at it. And they should have sent it back to the legislatures for approval. I got almost 75 million votes, the most votes any sitting president has ever gotten. I was told if I got 63, which was what I got in 2016, you can't be beaten. The election, people should never be thinking about an election as fraudulent. We need two things. We need walls. And we have to have it. We have to have borders, and we have to have good elections. Our elections are bad. And a lot of these illegal immigrants coming in, they're trying to get them to vote. They can't even speak English. They don't even know what country they're in practically. And these people are trying to get them to vote. And that's why they're allowing them to come into our country.
I did watch all of these pieces of video. I didn't detect the sarcasm, lost by a whisker. We didn't quite make it. And we should just point out here as clarification, and you know this, you and your allies, 60 cases in front of many judges, many of them
No judge looked at it.
And said
they said we didn't have standing. That's the other thing. They said we didn't have standing, a technicality. Can you imagine a system where a person in an election doesn't have standing? The President of the United States doesn't have standing. That's how we lost. If you look at the facts, and I'd love to have you do a special on it, I'll show you Georgia, and I'll show you Wisconsin, and I'll show you Pennsylvania, and I'll show you. We have so many facts and statistics, but you know what? That doesn't matter, because we have to solve the problem that we have right now. That's old news. And the problem that we have right now is we have a nation in decline, and they have put it into decline. We have a nation that is dying, David.
Mr. President, thank you. Vice President Harris, you heard the president there tonight. He said he didn't say that he lost by a whisker, so he still believes he did not lose the election that was won by President Biden and yourself. But I do want to ask you about something that's come up in the last couple of days. This was a post from President Trump about this upcoming election just weeks away. He said, when I win, those people who cheated, and then he lists donors, voters, election officials, he says will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences. One of your campaign's top lawyers responded saying, we won't let Donald Trump intimidate us, we won't let him suppress the vote. Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States, and world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom worked with you, and they say you're a disgrace. And when you then talk in this way in a presidential debate and deny what over and over again are court cases you have lost because you did in fact lose that election, it leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact. That's deeply troubling, and the American people deserve better.
I'll give you 1 minute to respond, Mr. President.
Let me just say about world leaders. Viktor Orban, one of the most respected men, they call him a strong man. He's a tough person, smart. Prime Minister of Hungary. They said, why is the whole world blowing up? 3 years ago it wasn't. Why is it blowing up? He said, because you need Trump back as president. They were afraid of him. China was afraid, and I don't like to use the word afraid, but I'm just quoting him. China was afraid of him. North Korea was afraid of him. Look at what's going on with North Korea, by the way. He said Russia was afraid of him. I ended the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, and Biden put it back on day one, but he ended the XL pipeline. The XL pipeline in our country, he ended that, but he let the Russians build a pipeline going all over Europe and heading into Germany, the biggest pipeline in the world. Look, Viktor Orban said it. He said the most respected, most feared person is Donald Trump. We had no problems when Trump was president, but when this weak, pathetic man that you saw at a debate just a few months ago, that if he weren't in that debate, he'd be running instead of her. She got no votes. He got 14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her. But he got 14 million votes. They threw him out. She got 0 votes. And when she ran, she was the first one to leave because she failed. And now she's running. I don't understand it, but I'm okay with it because
your time is
I think
up.
we're going to do very well.
We've got a lot more to get to.
Turning now to the Israel-Hamas war and the hostages who are still being held, Americans among them. Vice President Harris, in December, you said, quote, Israel has a right to defend itself, but you added, quote, it matters how, saying international humanitarian law must be respected. Israel must do more to protect innocent civilians. You said that 9 months ago. Now an estimated 40,000 Palestinians are dead. Nearly 100 hostages remain. Just last week, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there's not a deal in the making. President Biden has not been able to break through the stalemate. How would you do it?
Well, let's understand how we got here. On October 7, Hamas, a terrorist organization, slaughtered 1,200 Israelis. Many of them young people who were simply attending a concert. Women were horribly raped. And so absolutely, I said then, I say now, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. Because it is also true, far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. Children, mothers. What we know is that this war must end. It must end immediately, and the way it will end is we need a ceasefire deal and we need the hostages out. And so we will continue to work around the clock on that. Work around the clock, also understanding that we must chart a course for a two-state solution. And in that solution, there must be security for the Israeli people and Israel, and in equal measure for the Palestinians. But the one thing I will assure you always, I will always give Israel the ability to defend itself, in particular as it relates to Iran and any threat that Iran and its proxies pose to Israel. But we must have a two-state solution where we can rebuild Gaza, where the Palestinians have security, self-determination, and the dignity they so rightly deserve.
President Trump, how would you negotiate with Netanyahu and also Hamas in order to get the hostages out and prevent the killing of more innocent civilians in Gaza?
If I were president, it would have never started. If I were president, Russia would have never, ever, I know Putin very well, he would have never, and there was no threat of it either, by the way, for 4 years, have gone into Ukraine and killed millions of people when you add it up. Far worse than people understand what's going on over there. But when she mentions about Israel, all of a sudden, she hates Israel. She wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech. She refused to be there because she was at a sorority party of hers. She wanted to go to the sorority party. She hates Israel. If she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now. And I've been pretty good at predictions, and I hope I'm wrong about that one. She hates Israel. At the same time, in her own way, she hates the Arab population because the whole place is going to get blown up. Arabs, Jewish people, Israel will be gone. It would have never happened. Iran was broke under Donald Trump. Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had. Iran had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah or any of the 28 different spheres of terror. And they are spheres of terror, horrible terror. They had no money. It was a big story, and you know it. You covered it very well, actually. They had no money for terror. They were broke. Now they're a rich nation, and now what they're doing is they're spreading that money around. Look at what's happening with the Houthis and Yemen. Look at what's going on in the Middle East. This would have never happened. I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
Vice President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
That's absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators, wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself. It is well known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un, and it is absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're so clear. They can manipulate you with flattery and favors. And that is why so many military leaders who you have worked with have told me you are a disgrace. That is why we understand that we have to have a president who is not consistently weak and wrong on national security, including the importance of upholding and respecting in highest regard our military.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
They're the ones, and she's the one that caused it, that's weak on national security by allowing every nation last month for the year, 168 different countries sending people into our country. Their crime rates are way down. Putin endorsed her last week, said, I hope she wins. And I think he meant it because what he's gotten away with is absolutely incredible. It wouldn't have happened with me. The leaders of other countries think that they're weak and incompetent, and they are. They're grossly incompetent. And I just ask one question. Why does Biden go in and kill the Keystone Pipeline and approve the single biggest deal that Russia's ever made, Nord Stream 2, the biggest pipeline anywhere in the world going to Germany and all over Europe? Because they're weak and they're ineffective. And Biden, by the way, gets paid a lot of money.
Thank you. We have a lot of issues to get to.
We'll be right back with much more of this historic ABC News presidential debate from the National Constitution Center right here in Philadelphia. Back in a moment.
Well, wait a minute. You can't talk about how much money Biden got from Russia. We got to go to commercial.
We've secured the lead. We've lost the lead.
Donald Trump. When it ends in just a few minutes, join us for an analysis of tonight's key moments. Our team will break down how it could shake up the final sprint to...
We've taken the lead.
Fuck.
The enemy's taken the lead.
On your side, and then
XL Pipeline in our country, he ended.
Damn it.
Harris was able to make this debate not about Joe Biden, not about herself, but
It's in the U.S. best interest for Ukraine to win this war, yes or no?
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished and just get it done.
UAV on station.
So I think you've heard tonight two very different visions for our country. One that is focused on the future, and the other that is focused on the past, and an attempt to take us backward. But we're not going back. And I do believe that the American people know we all have so much more in common than what separates us. And we can chart a new way forward. And a vision of that includes having a plan, understanding the aspirations, the dreams, the hopes, the ambition of the American people, which is why I intend to create an opportunity economy, investing in small businesses, in new families, in what we can do around protecting seniors, what we can do that is about giving hardworking folks a break and bringing down the cost of living. I believe in what we can do together that is about sustaining America's standing in the world and ensuring that we have the respect that we so rightly deserve, including respecting our military and ensuring we have the most lethal fighting force in the world. I will be a president that will protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. I'll tell you, I started my career as a prosecutor. I was a DA, I was an attorney general, a United States senator, and now vice president. I only have one client, the people. And I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on what we can do over the next 10 and 20 years to build back up our country by investing right now in you, the American people.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump.
Typical.
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it, and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like, we're not going to frack, we're not going to take fossil fuel, we're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world they're laughed. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all, is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
President Trump, thank you. And that is our ABC News presidential debate from here in Philadelphia at the National Constitution Center. I'm Lindsay Davis.
And I'm David Muir. Thank you for watching here in the U.S. and all over the world, and from all of us here at ABC News. Good night.
And welcome back to NBC News coverage of the debate. Pick your adjective. I would go with fiery to begin, but it goes from there. Both the candidates, you could argue, executing on their strategy going in. For Kamala Harris, that was to get under the former president's skin, which she did quite often. For the former president, his option was, of course, to go after the economy, after Afghanistan, the administration's position on the withdrawal in Afghanistan, and immigration, of course. This is exactly what they wanted. The question is how they got there, and along the way, I think.
Well, people are going to be talking about this debate for a long time. And is this the final debate? Is this the only one we're going to see? Will there be another? Well, it depends on how each candidate feels they did tonight. Let's bring back our moderator, Meet the Press, Krista Welker, our senior Washington correspondent, Allie Jackson. Boy, do we have a lot to chew over here. Yes. First of all, it does seem that Kamala Harris was trying to hit every trigger point she could think of to try to get Donald Trump to respond to her and to kind of bait him into that trap? Do you think it was effective?
Well, let's just name a few. Abortion, January 6th. His former officials who are now critical of him. John McCain, which is a big trigger point. One
is rally size.
Size, one of the biggest ones that gets under his skin. One of his allies said she clearly tried to get under his skin. He's being defensive way too much. He's losing his answers. For example, instead of border czar, we had eating pets. Of course, that theory that Springfield officials in Ohio are saying there's no proof that undocumented immigrants are eating pets, something that we've heard from Trump and his campaign. And I think that allies are expressing concern about the fact that he didn't do what they were hoping he would do, which is to stay on message, to talk about his strengths. There were some unanswered questions as well. It's worth noting out on both sides. Harris never answered whether you're better off than you were 4 years ago. She also didn't say what she would have done differently on immigration. Trump, by the way, didn't answer the critical question. Would he veto a national abortion ban if it came to his desk? I asked J.D. Vance if Trump would do that. He said, yes, he would. Trump said tonight, well, he didn't check with me before saying that. So some differences there. Again, how does this play with those swing voters?
How many Republicans saying tonight that you're monitoring?
I think there's immense frustration on the part of those allied with Donald Trump about the moderators. That is something that you sometimes hear after debates. I think that is certainly a through line here. There is some frustration, I think, from sort of one Republican who called former President Trump wild and uncontrolled and said that the vice president was successfully pushing his buttons and getting him angry. Another ally said, listen, she is doing what they thought she would do, avoiding the issues and going on attack against former President Trump. She did that, as you have laid out. She baited him again and again. We talk about substance and style being the two kind of buckets in any debate. If that's the style, you look at substance here. She was pressed on her shift away from some of those more progressive positions in that crowded primary. She says, my values haven't changed. And it wasn't just, of course, the issue of abortion access and whether he'd veto a national abortion ban that the former president did not answer on. He did not discuss how he would implement one of his central issues on immigration, mass deportations. And he also didn't get into his plan to replace Obamacare, simply saying, I have concepts of a plan. He will be pressed on that moving forward.
He also didn't commit to saying he wants Ukraine to be victorious in the war. So that was an interesting exchange as well. So she was trying to prosecute the case against him, but also present an affirmative vision of herself and what she might do in a term. So let's go to Tom Yamas, who's in the spin room for us.
What has she done?
I'm sure you're already starting to see people filter in, and what are you hearing?
Yeah. So it's still very early, right? Each campaign is sort of getting their talking points out and making sure everyone's on the same page before they pour into the spin room. Some people aren't coming in right now. There's a crush of reports at the end just waiting for everybody. I can tell you in the meantime, my phone has been blowing up with both Republican strategists, Democratic strategists, voters. I've been asking everyone what they think. It is a complete different shift change from that first debate. After that first debate, Republicans felt very victorious and very confident. They were saying the entire debate was about Joe Biden. This time, it's much different. Republicans seem very frustrated with former President Trump. They also felt frustrated with the format of the debate, which is never a good sign on your side. And then also saying that they were able, at least Vice President Kamala Harris was able to make this debate not about Joe Biden, not about herself, but about Donald Trump. And that led to her advantage. So again, many of the surrogates are coming in right now. Governors, senators from different parties. We're going to be talking to them about tonight. I'm going to get back to you guys in the studio right now.
All right, Tom, thanks. Let's bring in Pennsylvania Governor George Shapiro. He's a Democrat representing the Harris campaign. Governor, thank you for being here. Let me first ask you, do you think the voters were served by what we saw the last 90 minutes? Served well, I guess.
Look, I think the voters heard a lot and learned a lot. You know, one of the things I was a little bit worried about going into this debate is that some folks had a little brain fog about Donald Trump. They sort of didn't remember the chaos of Donald Trump's time in office. Well, I'll tell you what, I think Kamala Harris cleared that brain fog out.
I can forget 2020 summer of love.
People of the disaster that he was as president. And I think it was also clear as she laid down a vision to take this country.
Donald Trump was literally the best president we ever had.
Instead, it was more grievance and division, more attacks on other people. And Donald Trump, I think, will make our country less safe, more chaotic, and less free. And Donald Trump prosecuted the heck out of the case tonight. Kamala Harris prosecuted the case tonight. Pardon me.
Oops. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. You know, I thought Donald Trump toward the end finally got around to what he was hoping to accomplish, which is say, if you have... all these plans and they have all this vision, Kamala Harris. You've had 3.5 years to do it. Why haven't you? So what is the answer to that?
She has served as vice president. She wrote her job to be president. Now she has laid out her vision for where she wants to take this country. I thought she was very specific on her
Yeah, we see what her vision for the country is.
For small business owners, her way of trying to bring down costs for middle-class families. Donald Trump, I don't know what the heck he thinks. He was all over the place. I think what you heard was a rambling man full of nonsense and full of a whole lot of grievances. He couldn't get past that, and he couldn't focus on anybody but himself, and that is serving the people of this nation, something Kamala Harris has done throughout her career and has plans to do going throughout her career. And has plans
so in other words, she got rich being a career politician.
For a second debate after this one.
Look, I think that'll be up to either one of them. I'm not going to sit here and guess what'll happen. But I'll tell you what, if there is not another debate, what the American people saw tonight was a clear contrast.
If there's not another debate, it's a clear reason why.
Future-looking leadership.
That bitch don't want no smoke.
The chaotic, divisive leadership of the past of Donald Trump.
Governor Shapiro, thank you for being with us tonight. We appreciate it.
We're going to hear from Senator Marco Rubio in just a moment. We have a few moments to turn back to our table. So what about it? It was just, it's clear that the Democrats and the allies of Kamala Harris are very happy with the way that she prosecuted the case against Donald Trump. But we know going in, about 30% of voters were saying, we don't really know who she is.
Oh, no, I'm reloading.
She did enough to define herself, to make that affirmative case.
I don't. There were a couple of answers where she talked about her economic plans. It's the top issue. Trump beats her on that point. I think people still have a lot of questions about what she would do on
the top issue. Trump beats her on. That bitch beats her on every issue.
Something like 15 times. Didn't say Kamala or Harris once. She addressed that by saying, clearly, I'm not Joe Biden. But I think that's an interesting point, is where the former president's head is at this point.
All right, let's bring in Florida Senator Marco Rubio. He's a surrogate for the Trump campaign. Senator, thanks for coming on to us.
Because her and Biden are a team, dumb bitch. They're doing it together.
Of Donald Trump, in your opinion, tonight?
They're both being told what to do by Barack Obama.
These candidates have very different objectives going. Donald Trump is well known. He was the president of the United States. He's been campaigning basically for the last 8 years, 4 years, actually going back to 2016. Most voters didn't even know who Kamala Harris was. Tonight, for the first time, they got glimpses of it. Look, I don't think the moderators did the best job of pressing her on this, but I think got glimpses of what she has stood for as recently as 2019 and 2020. And here in Philadelphia, and here in Pennsylvania, she wanted to ban fracking. But beyond that, I think there are all kinds of things that the moderators never asked. For example, grocery prices were up 50% in 2020. What's the responsibility for that? I thought her answer on Afghanistan was complete nonsense. She was vice president at the time. Joe Biden didn't withdraw from Afghanistan. We will run out of Afghanistan. So on issue after issue, I think for the first time, voters are starting to get a glimpse of someone and starting to understand the positions that she truly believes in. You know, she's basically cut and paste, literally cut and paste out of the Biden agenda.
Oh, baby.
She really believes in the radical ideas that she ran on in 2019 and 2020.
Shut your ass up.
I think it's going to have an impact on this race. Senator, you just laid out the case against her pretty clearly. Do you wish that Donald Trump had done so more clearly?
Well, I think he did. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm not one of these guys that like to complain about moderator. This one was tough not to. I think it was really one-sided, and some of the fact-checking was wrong. There are, in fact, states in this country, the state of Minnesota, where a child born in a botched abortion is allowed to die, provided palliative care and allowed to die. So some of the fact-checking I thought was truly unfair, but on balance, as people heard things about, you wanted to take away guns from people in the past, you wanted the Bernie Sanders health care plan, you wanted to ban fracking, you bailed out, tried to raise money to bail out rioters in 2020 in the summer. These are new facts that a lot of people don't know about Kamala Harris that they learned tonight for the first time. And I think you've seen in the polling, a lot of 25% of Americans want to learn more about it. They learn more about it tonight.
Senator Rubio, thank you for your time. We want to go to Kate Snow. She's been talking with a group of undecided voters in where else? Battleground, Pennsylvania. Kate, we've all been dying to hear what they thought and how they reacted to what they heard tonight.
Yeah, Savannah, it's been really interesting watching with you all because I could see your reactions in real time. There were a lot of visceral reactions. In one word, if I can ask, how would you headline this debate? One word to describe what you saw, Lynn.
Well, it's 4 words. Same old, same old.
Hannah. Manipulative. And Andrew.
Lies on both sides.
Okay.
Lies.
Well, you came in all undecided. Has anything changed your mind tonight? Is there anything you heard here that you thought, oh yeah, I could go for that policy. I could stand with that candidate?
Not really. For me, I think Kamala had a good debate. I feel more favorably towards her than to Donald, but I'm still
not sure.
Not 100%.
The two of you women reacted very strongly when Harris was talking about abortion. When both candidates were talking about abortion rights, you reacted strongly to Donald Trump and his positions. You seemed emotional about it, Hannah.
Yes.
What was your thought on that? What was it about that part of the debate that was strong?
His misinformation. He sensationalized just so much facts or not things that are not facts.
Oh, so many facts. So bitch, he's just admitted those facts. You dumb bitch.
Want to hear.
That bitch is stupid.
Really
I couldn't stand the facts.
People like us.
The facts hurt my feelings.
Because we but you're still sick. It's disgusting.
Bitch, you're
You also was the
stupid.
economy going in. Andrew, anything you've heard that changes how you're thinking about their economic policies?
No, because at the end of the day, December and November is going to roll around, and they're going to say we're going to shut down the government, they're going to pass an omnibus, and they're going to spend trillions of dollars, and nothing else is going to change. They're just going to keep spending money uncontrollably. Donald Trump spent $6 trillion in 2019 and added that to our deficit. So absolutely not. They're spending money, and then it's coming back into the government, to the Congressman, into the Senate, through...
Yeah, $6 trillion ain't shit compared to what these motherfuckers are spending.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Lynn, it's been great to be with you. I'll send
They sent that much to Ukraine.
Jackson back for some final thoughts. Kristen, first to you. Will we know who won this debate in days or weeks or months?
Well, a couple of weeks that would
No, you know who won. Trump.
numbers, Lester, as we've been saying.
Trump, baby.
Harris' campaign feels emboldened. They just put out a statement saying Vice President Harris is ready for a second debate with Donald Trump. The big question,
That
will
bitch.
that actually
Toast.
happen? And again, I just
Trump would debate that bitch every day.
I'm sitting there with Case Note here that one of them at least was a little bit more favorable toward Harris.
Since I propose that coverage, I always like to say Election Day is 6 days away, but in fact, Election Day is, well, it starts tomorrow in one state, but it's 6 days away.
I can't wait to vote for Trump.
It's a huge factor.
Those mail-in ballots going out in Pennsylvania.
I'm mailing in 15 goddamn ballots. I'm mailing in so many motherfucking ballots for Trump.
Happening tonight matters.
I'm about to pay every crackhead in the whole hood for a ballot.
So, will there be a second debate? That's an open question. You look at what's next. All four of these leaders.
I got you $15 for a mail-in ballot.
President Trump and his running mate will be at 9/11 ceremonies.
I'll make it 17.
And former President Trump. More coverage tomorrow morning on Today. We'll see you bright and early. I'm Savannah Guthrie, Lester Holt, Hallie Jackson, Kristen Welker. We're all here. Thanks for being with us.
Trump, baby. Trump. Bag of gang or no gang. Damn, I said that.
We've lost the lead. Enemy contact. Hostiles deployed a mosquito.
doing there?
Hostile cruise missile incoming.
Alright, man.
We've taken the lead. Confirmed that one. Send it thermite. I need bags.
In the chimney.
UAV in the area. Send in thermite.
Damn, son.
Friendly UAV active. Send in thermite. Active.
Dropped it. Oh, yeah, I'm in a sweet spot.
Waste.
Move, teammate, get from over there. Genius. Boy, y'all bitches suck. Oh, cuz. Alright, you know why everybody just got dropped.
Need
Here you
recon
go.
overhead.
UAV is on station. Recon online.
Don't go back over there, teammate. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Two in the garage. Got him. Got him.
Send it thermite.
Deep thermite. You running, black? Where you running, black?
UAV is on station. Recon online.
Where they at? Oh, wow. I can't see him, mouse.
Hostile SAE near your position.
Damn, nice one, Bird Man. Bird Man. Oh. What happened to that boy? Hold on. Put some respect to the name. Yeah, ding. Where you at? What? Who you playing with? Who you playing with? Bring your ass out that door. Bring your ass out that door, boy. I said, bring your ass out that door. Bring your ass from around that corner, boy.
Last mag.
Oh, I'm out of ammo. You lucky little bitch, you. Come on, I'm out of ammo, buddy. I'm reloaded. Oh, you fucking pussy. I can't even land, man. There you go, teammate.
Kill confirmed.
Corner camping in the hot tub.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
He's camping in the pool room, the building, pool house building.
The enemy's taking the lead.
Yeah, dude.
We've taken the
Moving this way. Enemy kill streak in action here.
Backyard. By the hot tub.
SAE on the way. We lost the lead.
Let me show you some. What? Yeah, dude. Hold on. Yeah. Alright, let's go for you.
We've secured the
Show you
lead.
some. What? Quit playing with your bitch ass. Let you get the secret door. What? Let you have that.
Friendly cruise missile approaching target.
Damn, that's a lot of fun.
Knocked one. Enemy UAV.
He's in the pool room,
Friendly
the
mosquito
bathroom. He's in the washroom.
active. Friendly airstrike in the AO. Friendly UAV online.
In the living room. Bedroom. Camping what? By the hot tub camping. Two of them camping by the hot. Come here, what? Don't run your ass over there, what? Don't run your ass over there. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. What? Yeah. Oh. Man, the teammate was just right there, bro. Hot tub.
Final minute.
Send it thermite.
Friendly UAV on station.
Send it thermite.
Friendly mosquito deployed.
Oh my goodness. Thanks, teammate.
What side are you on?
30 seconds left.
Stop doing that shit, man. Yeah, me. Yeah, me. Blickety, blickety.
Friendly mosquito active. Confirmed. Friendly UAV online.
Not today, didn't. Not today, didn't. Yes, sir.
Mission compromised. We failed.
Give me that. Wait. Hold on. Y'all, wait. No way, man. Come on. You cheating. Hey. No, you got the fire.
So, I don't know when Jesus coming. But all I do know is Christians are weak. The most popular Christians in the biggest churches are false churches. They teaching name it, claim it. They in there doing all kind of crazy stuff. Oh yeah.
All right, guys. So let me know if you can hear me, if everything is working out good. Want to make sure that we're all set up before this debate starts. Let me know if everything is good. Can you hear me? I got my popcorn ready too. My invisible popcorn. My water. My water is my popcorn.
Changed.
Whoa.
So, my NATO allies are so thankful that you are no longer president and that we understand the importance of the greatest military alliance the world has ever known, which is NATO. and what we have done to preserve the ability of Zelensky and the Ukrainians to fight for their independence. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting in Kyiv with
But they want to take our guns. We're going to take your guns, but we want these other motherfuckers to be able to defend themselves.
Right here in Pennsylvania, how quickly you would give up for the sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
Vice President Harris, thank you for your boldness on Ukraine tonight. Afghanistan came up in the last hour. I wanted her to respond to something you said earlier, and please, I'll give you a minute here.
Putin would be sitting in Moscow. No way.
Chill out, ABC.
How long? Eventually, he's got a thing that other people don't have. He's got nuclear weapons. They don't ever talk about that. He's got nuclear weapons. Nobody ever thinks about that. And eventually, maybe he'll use them, and maybe he hasn't been that threatening. But he does have that. Something we don't even like to talk about. Nobody likes to talk about it. But just so you understand, they sent her to negotiate peace before this war started. 3 days later, he went in and he started the war because everything they said was weak and stupid. They said the wrong thing. That war should have never started. She was the emissary. They sent her in to negotiate with Zelensky and Putin. And she did. And the war started 3 days later. And that's the kind of talent we have with her. She's worse than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the worst president in the history of our country. She goes down as the worst vice president in the history of our country. But let me tell you something. She is a horrible negotiator. They sent her in to negotiate as soon as they left. Putin did the invasion.
President Trump, thank you.
That's crazy.
You went to negotiate with Vladimir Putin. Vice President Harris, have you ever met Vladimir Putin? Verify that.
Yet again, I said it at the beginning of the debate, you're going to hear a bunch of lies coming from this film. And that is another one. When I went to meet with President Zelensky, I've now met with him over 5 times. The reality is it has been about standing as America always should, as a leader upholding international rules and norms, as a leader who shows strength, understanding that the alliances we have around the world are dependent on our ability to look out for our friends and not favor our enemies because you adore strong men instead of caring about democracy. And that is very much what is at stake here. The President of the United States is Commander-in-Chief, and the American people have the right to rely on the President who understands the significance of America's role and responsibility in terms of ensuring that there is stability and ensuring we stand up for our principles and not sell them for the benefit of personal flattery.
And Vladimir, I do want to talk about Afghanistan. You came up in the first hour of this.
Said Trump did the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He got these countries, the 28 countries at the time, to pay up. He said, I've never seen, he's the head of NATO. He said, I've never seen, for years we were paying almost all of NATO. We were being ripped off by European nations, both on trade and on NATO. I got them to pay up by saying one of the statements you made before, if you don't pay, we're not going to protect you. Otherwise, we would have never gotten it. He said it was one of the most incredible jobs that he's ever seen done.
Thank you. I came up in the first hour of the debate, and we witnessed a poignant moment today on Capitol Hill, honoring the soldiers who died in the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. I do want to ask the Vice President, do you believe you bear any responsibility in the way that withdrawal played out?
Well, I will tell you, I agreed with President Biden's decision. Four presidents said they would, and Joe Biden did. And as a result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war. And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world, the first time this century. But let's understand how we got to where we are. Donald Trump, when he was president, negotiated one of the weakest deals you can imagine. He calls himself a deal maker. Even his national security advisor said it was a weak, terrible deal, and here's how it went down.
Pueden pagar
He
esa
bypassed
mierda,
the
por
Afghan
favor. I'm
government.
trying to
He
play. Turn
negotiated
that shit
directly
off.
with a terrorist organization called the Taliban. The negotiation involved the Taliban getting 5,000 terrorists, Taliban terrorists, released. And get this.
Get this.
The president at the time invited the Taliban to Camp David, a place of historic significance for us as Americans, a place where we, the importance of American diplomacy, where we invite and receive respected world leaders. And this one president invited them because he does not again appreciate the role and responsibility of the President of the United States to be Commander-in-Chief with a level of respect. And this gets back to the point of how he has consistently disparaged and demeaned members of our military, fallen soldiers, and the work that we must do to uphold the strength and the respect of the United States of America around the world.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, your response to her saying began the negotiations with the Taliban.
So, if you take a look at that period of time, the Taliban was killing our soldiers, a lot of them, with snipers. And I got involved with the Taliban because the Taliban was doing the killing. That's the fighting force within Afghanistan. They don't bother doing that because, they deal with the wrong people all the time. But I got involved. And Abdul was the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban. And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems. And he said, why do you send me a picture of my house? I said, you're going to have to figure that out, Abdul. And for 18 months, we had nobody killed. We did have an agreement negotiated by Mike Pompeo. It was a very good agreement. The reason it was good, we were getting out. We would have been out faster than that, but we wouldn't have lost the soldiers. We wouldn't have left many Americans behind, and we wouldn't have left $85 billion worth of brand new beautiful military equipment behind. And just to finish, they blew it. The agreement said you have to do this, and they didn't do it. The agreement was terminated by us because they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
I want to move on.
And these people did the worst withdrawal, and in my opinion, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And by the way, that's why Russia attacked Ukraine, because they saw how incompetent she and her boss are.
President Trump, thank you. I want to move on now to race and politics in this country. President said of Vice President Harris, quote, I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to die, and now she wants to be known as black. I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something. I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
So
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
Vice President Harris.
Honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race. And let's remember how Donald Trump started. He was he owned buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember, this is the same story. It took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5. It took out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This was the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States. And I think the American people want better than that. Want better than this. Want someone who understands as I do. I travel our country. We see in each other a friend. We see in each other a neighbor. We don't want a leader who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. I meet with people all the time who tell me, can we please just have discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people? Knowing that regardless of people's color or the language their grandmother speaks, we all have the same dreams and aspirations and want a president who invests in those, not in hate and division.
I don't know about Alex, President Harris. Thank you. Lindsay?
President Trump, this is now your third time.
This is the most divisive presidency in the history of our country. There's never been anything like it. They're destroying our country, and they come up with things like what she just said. Going back many, many years, when a lot of people, including Mayor Bloomberg, agreed with me on the Central Park fight, they admitted, they said, they pled guilty. And I said, well, if they pled guilty, they badly hurt a person, killed a person ultimately. And if they pled guilty, then they pled, well, not guilty. But this is a person that has to stretch back years, 40, 50 years ago, because it's nothing now. I built one of the greatest economies in the history of the world, and I'm going to build it again. It's going to be bigger, better, and stronger. But they're destroying our economy. They have no idea what a good economy is. Their oil policies, every single policy. And remember this, she is Biden. You know, she's trying to get away from Biden. I don't know the gentleman, she says. She is Biden. The worst inflation we've ever had, a horrible economy because inflation has made it so bad that she can't get away with that.
Thank you. Back yourself.
I want to respond to that, though. I want to just respond briefly.
Oh,
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country. One who believes in what is possible. One who brings a sense of optimism about what we can do instead of always disparaging the American people. I believe in what we can do to strengthen our small businesses, which is why I have a plan. Let's talk about our plans and let's compare the plans. I have a plan to give startup businesses $50,000 tax deduction to pursue their ambitions, their innovation, their ideas, their hard work. I have a plan, $6,000 for young families for the first year of your child's life to help you in that most critical stage of your child's development. I have a plan that is about allowing people to be able to pursue what has been fleeting in terms of the American dream by offering a help with down payment of $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers. That's the kind of conversation I believe, David, that people really want tonight, as opposed to a conversation that is constantly about belittling and name-calling. Let's turn the page.
Vice President Harris, thank you. Let's turn to policy. Let's turn to policy, please.
To defund the police. She has a plan to confiscate everybody's gun.
President Trump,
she has a plan to not allow fracking in Pennsylvania or anywhere else.
Okay,
that's what her plan is until just recently.
I think the former president has said something twice that I need to respond to.
I'm sorry, we're going to respond by
one time.
President Trump, this is now your third time running for president. You have long vowed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. You have failed to accomplish that. You now say you're going to keep Obamacare, quote, unless we can do something much better. Last month, you said, quote, we're working on it. So tonight, 9 years after you first started running, do you have a plan, and can you tell us what it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care. Always was. It's not very good today. And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things, we're going to do it, and we're going to replace it. But remember this. I inherited Obamacare because Democrats wouldn't change it. They wouldn't vote for it. They were unanimous. They wouldn't vote to change it. If they would have done that, we would have had a much better plan than Obamacare. But the Democrats came up. They wouldn't vote for it. I had a choice to make when I was president. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be? Never going to be great. or do I let it rot? And I felt I had an obligation, even though politically it would have been good to just let it rot and let it go away. I decided, and I told my people, the top people, and they're very good people. I have a lot of good people in that administration. We read about the bad ones. We had some real bad ones too, and so do they. They have really bad ones. The difference is they don't get rid of them. But let me just explain. I had a choice to make. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, or do I let it rot? And I saved it. I did the right thing. But it's still never going to be great, and it's too expensive for people. And what we will do is we're looking at different plans. If we can come up with a plan that's going to cost our people, our population, less money and be better health care than Obamacare, then I would absolutely do it. But until then, I'd run it as good as it can be run.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now. But if we come up with something, I would only change it if we come up with something that's better and less expensive. And there are concepts and options we have to do that, and you'll be hearing about it in the not-too-distant future.
Vice President Harris, in 2017, you supported Bernie Sanders' proposal to do away with private insurance and create a government-run healthcare system. 2 years later, you proposed a plan that included a private insurance option. What is your plan today?
Well, first
Where'd
of all,
you come from, you gay bastard? Oh,
supported over the last
teammate.
4 years as vice president, private healthcare options, but what we need to do is maintain and grow the Affordable Care Act. But I'll get to that, Lindsay. I just need to respond to a previous point that the former president has made. I've made very clear my position on fracking, and then this business about taking everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away, so stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
Oh, from the sky.
As it relates to the Affordable Care Act, understand, just look at the history to know where people stand. When Donald Trump was president, 60 times he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. 60 times. I was a senator at the time. When I will never forget the early morning hours when it was up for a vote in the United States Senate, and the late, great John McCain, who you have disparaged as being, you don't like him, you said at the time, because he got caught. He was an American hero. The late, great John McCain, I will never forget that night, walked onto the Senate floor and said, "No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't get rid of the Affordable Care Act. You have no plan." And what the Affordable Care Act has done is eliminate the ability of insurance companies to deny people with pre-existing conditions. I don't have to tell people watching tonight, you remember what that was like? Remember when an insurance company could deny if a child had asthma, if someone was a breast cancer survivor, if a grandparent had diabetes? And thankfully, as I've been vice president, and we over the last 4 years have strengthened the Affordable Care Act, we have allowed for the first time Medicare to negotiate drug prices on behalf of you, the American people. Donald Trump said he was going to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices. He never did. We did. And now we have capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month. Since I've been vice president, we have capped the cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000 a year. And when I am president, we will do that for all people, understanding that the value I bring to this is that access to health care should be a right and not just a privilege of those who can afford it. And the plan
Love it's live or not. The guy won't talk.
the Affordable Care Act, not get rid of it.
Vice President Harris,
in terms of where Donald Trump stands on that.
I want to move to an issue that's important for a lot
Made a mistake. And number one, John McCain fought Obamacare for 10 years. But it wasn't only him. It was the Democrats that kept it going. And you know what? We can do much better than Obamacare. Much less money. But she
We should do better than Obamacare.
private insurance for people. Private medical insurance. That's another thing she doesn't want to get. People are paying privately for insurance that have worked hard and made money, and they want to have private. She wants everybody to be on government insurance where you wait 6 months for an operation that you need to be.
President Trump, thank you. We have another issue that we'd like to get to that's important for a number of Americans, in particular younger voters, and that's climate change. President Trump, with regard to the environment, you say that we have to have clean air and clean water. Vice President Harris, you call climate change an existential threat. The question to you both tonight is, what would you do to fight climate change? And Vice President Harris, we'll start with you. 1 minute for you each.
Well, the former
Climate
president
change
has
is
said
never gonna end.
climate change is a hoax. And what we know is that it is very real. You ask anyone who lives in a state who has experienced these extreme weather occurrences, who now is either being denied home insurance or it's being jacked up. You ask anybody who has been the victim of what that means in terms of losing their home, having nowhere to go. We know that we can actually deal with this issue. The young people of America care deeply about this issue. And I am proud that as Vice President over the last 4 years, we have invested $1 trillion in a clean energy economy, while we have also increased domestic gas production to historic levels. We have created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs while I have been Vice President. We have invested in clean energy to the point that we are opening up factories around the world. Donald Trump said he was going to create manufacturing jobs. He lost manufacturing jobs. And I'm also proud to have the endorsement of the United Auto Workers and Sean Fain, who also know that part of building a clean energy economy includes investing in American-made products, American automobiles. It includes growing what we can do around American manufacturing and opening up auto plants, not closing them like happened under Donald Trump.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
That didn't happen under Donald Trump. Let me just tell you, they lost 10,000 manufacturing jobs this last month. They're all leaving. They're building big auto plants in Mexico, in many cases owned by China. They're building these massive plants, and they think they're going to sell their cars into the United States because of these people. What they have given to China is unbelievable. But we're not going to let that. We'll put tariffs on those cars so they can't come into our country, because they will kill the United Auto Workers and any auto worker, whether it's in Detroit or South Carolina or any other place. What they've done to business and manufacturing in this country is horrible. We have nothing because they refuse. You know, Biden doesn't go after people because supposedly China paid him millions of dollars. He's afraid to do it. Between him and his son, they get all this money from Ukraine. They get all this money from all of these different countries. And then you wonder, why is he so loyal to this one, that one, Ukraine, China? Why did he get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? Why did she pay him $3.5 million? This is a crooked administration, and they're selling our country down the tubes.
President Trump, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with closing statements from both of our candidates. An historic night, this ABC News presidential debate from Philadelphia.
Man, I think at the beginning, like, Trump he was doing good, but he started doing better things. Really, after the break, they start cooking. Yeah, I think this is what are the American people gonna think though?
I think it's
okay, Chad. I gotta
like to know. 64 of the American people.
Chad, do y'all believe this woman looked like she was finna cry on stage, or I'm just chirping up there?
Definitely
sad.
Yeah, and it's just like,
it looked like she's finna cry. If you finna go talk to Boo, I don't need you looking on stage like you talking to Boo.
This is like the time you're supposed to show everybody they're strong, and she's just sitting there with mannerisms. Like, nobody, you don't show emotion. The president doesn't show emotion unless it's time to show emotion.
Well, Abby Phillips on CNN said the debate has been characterized by Kamala dropping bait and Trump picking it up. Wow. So she's saying Trump falling for the bait.
I mean, he's following her a couple baits. They baited him into some shit. I ain't gonna lie, he's doubling down though. He's standing on business, and that's what Republicans have been doing all over the media, just standing on business on all the stuff that they have already said. He brought the whole jobs again. He said it. They're like the black ass. Yes. Yes.
You know what's kind of funny?
He brought double down.
Y'all owe me an apology on this thing y'all owe me an apology in this mug, man. I told y'all, y'all said no, bro. They gonna talk about politics.
They are talking about.
They gonna bring up race. I said they gonna bring up race.
Hold on. This debate is 95% policies, though. They only brought up emotional thing by one time with the her calling her bar. Why does that matter? What her race is? Why does that matter?
He said, I'll say it.
Hey, I just he can't help but to keep it a honey. He like me for real. He like us for real on the channel. We can't help but to keep it a honey. That's why we like Trump.
At first, you was Indian, now you're black.
Like, it just seems like Kamala's bullshitting so much, bro. She's using all media talking points.
I just want to see what, like, after this, what are they gonna say happened? You know, who are they gonna think won on Fox?
Fuck your car.
Except the other debate.
What the fuck?
Why
Trump
has she done
2024. MAGA. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
supposed to? Bro, what's also crazy, I think they need to not grab the crowd. Bro, she looks like she's gonna cry.
Eliminate the enemy.
This liberal guy says she's destroying.
Bro, in the comment section they say saying that she's destroying your wife.
I'm saying he's.
Bro, I just don't understand how they can even argue the war thing. And it was literally a peace treaty. There was no war. How can you always like it's literally the next thing at that point? It's like no war. We know for sure nothing happened. Something happened.
It was a treaty.
So how can that even be a discussion?
Because I told y'all she's going to try to find her way to separate herself.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like Trump is doing his debate skills is, pretty. I would give him. Like as far as like, he's probably like, because honestly, bro, if Vivek and Tulsi was up there, this should probably be no problem. Trump's old, Vivek is the best debater. I like Trump. He's a good guy. I mean, his character's good, but like, and he's funny. But like, as far as like, Tulsi, like Byron Donald, and they are all A+, but they young and they sharp. That's just what that is. Trump's getting. You gotta be real. That's what
no, reading this Kamala support on X Mark this problem.
Bro, oh my.
There you go.
Deployed. Hostile UAV in the area.
Reloading! Enemy trenches down! Take cover! Incoming!
Standing by.
Requesting recon at my location!
Copy. UAV orbiting.
Hey, teammate.
UAV is being refueled. Field this time. We have taken the lead.
Yeah, fucking real.
The enemy's taking the lead. Friendly UAV online.
Look out there, trophy system! Take cover!
Counter UAV is active.
That one's dead.
Hostile care package is
Thermite out!
Enemy UAV active. Hostile airstrike near your location.
Throwing thermite!
Hey. Yeah. It's good. Feels like freedom. I'm about to start camping.
Shoot this Andrew! I'm down to my last man!
These bitches keep running. Crazy.
On the way. Friendly cruiser.
I need to stay alive.
Che pendejo. What you doing?
Hostile care package deployed. Enemy UAV active.
Oh shit!
Friendly counter UAV is online. Friendly UAV on station.
We're still useful.
Counter UAV overhead.
Power bomb! A ball-breaking slam dunk!
Enemy UAV active.
Hey, trophies down!
The enemies in
Moving
this
it to my mom.
Press the advantage. Friendly UAV online.
Oh shit!
I'm with you.
The mission is complete. Good work.
Hey, what's
Or you gonna steal my last kill like that?
Seriously? You're lucky the Quinn's mom is still dilating. What is that?
Let's just scratch it.
So now.
This is like 50s. Yes.
She don't know. Okay.
That's Dr.
That's for some traffic, maybe.
You know, last time I had a cast, I think colors.
Let's go back now to the United States. Donald Trump speaking in the debate spin room.
Fox leader can debate because she lost tonight. And so they want call for second debate because they lost. So we'll, think about that. But she immediately called for second. Look, if she the worst poll that we've had from 71 that I see, 71% to like 24 and 25.
Came to the business. You know, I pick sell
Someone play that old ass shit. Yeah, your mic sounds like shit, buddy. Sounds like it's in an ass crack. Sounds like it's Kamala's ass crack. Mind fixing your mic, buddy? We're trying to make America great again over here. They got one fuck Donald Trump song. You heard all the fuck Joe Biden songs they got? Hold on. Fuck Joe Biden songs. Way better. Ain't no Bill back better. Hey, it's MAGA gang or no gang. Fuck Brandon too. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Joe Biden. Hey, fuck Joe Biden. Oh shit, hold up. Here's another one. Oh, another fuck Joe Biden.
Trump the Don.
Trump the Don. Spitting fire.
Shout out to the Trump Latinos. Gays for Trump, Asians for Trump, black for Trump, Jews for Trump. Whole damn world for Trump.
Whole damn world for Trump.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang. MAGA gang, no gang, baby. Oh, fuck Joe Biden.
Fuck Joe Biden. Excuse me. Fuck Joe Biden. Excuse me.
Hey.
Fuck Joe Biden. Excuse me. 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 Fuck Joe Biden. Back is the gang. Joe Biden, and I'm voting for Joe Biden, young Trump. Joe Biden, young Trump. The whole hood's for Trump.
Whole hood's for Trump.
United we stand with Trump. Dear white people, will you take a vote? White Democrats always try to steal our vote. Have a president with a mugshot. Yeah, president pedophile that we got. I'm sorry, Trump, I ain't vote for you last time. They was ending on you spreading lies last time. Ain't been related when they hit you with the Rico. Now the whole hood's screaming free Trumpito. Trump, how you get indicted before anybody on Epstein's place? Jesus is my savior, Trump is my president. Saying that you're racist, I don't see no evidence. Joe Biden, young
Hold up. They got a fuck Kamala already. Fuck Kamala Harris song.
F asterisk 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 Kamala Harris song.
Friendly mosquito active.
F Kamala. F Kamala. F Kamala. F Kamala. I'm Red Kamala. Kamala. Well, you're like Osama. When we debate, you'll be choking like Willie Brown's. Never mind, I'm just joking. Talk about equality.
Oh, God.
We know it's just a game. Lack of black folks for weed while you smoking. What a shame. You can't decide if you are Indian or black. Virtue signaling for votes. It's just a fact. Pretend to be one then the other. It's a game. Your true colors showing and they're never the same. In an affair with a married man, daddy's a Marxist. If you get elected, you'll crash the market. You're really doing great things. I bet Satan's loving it. I think that you're on the same thing that Hunter is. Spent you 3 around a desk, mostly under it. Trying to steal my policies. That's just a cut. F Kamala. Yeah, F Kamala.
Oh, God.
Kamala Harris, my pronouns are she and her. I'm a woman sitting at the table wearing and
First, fuck Big Mike and that hang. West Palm, Nick Mar-a-Lago, wish the gate. Locked up, tons of black fathers, that's a fact. I'll let Joe Biden say it though. You ain't black. Give
You ain't black. Y'all let Joe Biden say it though. You ain't black.
Way before Kaepernick, locked up ever marijuana. You in prison, damn. You was smoking weed at the time. What a hypocrite. Montel Williams and Willie Brown. Guess you haven't think for Willie's, but your dad's really proud. A crisis at your border, ignoring the reporters under you and Biden. $1 was worth a quarter. The new world order really wants you in, but it's Trump 2024. We're about to win.
We're about to win.
Trust me, I would do it. I still can't believe you believe justice funded. I'm meeting with rabbis, pastors, preachers, cops, firefighters, God-fearing believers. You meeting with fruitful transgender teachers, preachers, cutting up their primary features. I'm working for God, you work for the Grim Reaper. On Soros' payroll, they should call you Caesar, because every time you speak, it's a big word salad. I heard it college guys called you Hot George Harris. They try to do me like JFK in the drop top. The party of defunded police loves the top cop. You give it slap top, come on to Nowinski. When you talk in public, you always sound tipsy. You make Pelosi sound like Einstein. Not a worthy opponent, but I guess I'll find time. Your bottom shelf started Navy, I'm fine wine. Look at California, but Gavin cannot fight bribes. Bailed out rioters during BLM. That a few that murdered people wasn't shown to CNN. Surprise, that's just the fake news. And we all know that they pay you, I stay true.
So, you're gonna be the next president.
Oh, what a goofy fucking bitch.
Hardpoint relocating. Friendly mosquito deployed.
Many men wish that upon me. Blood in my hair, red like my red leaves. The president is what I'm destined to be, but Democrats trying to take my life away. Put a hole in my air, now you don't see. It's upon my security. Better watch where you shoot your hand be. They'll take your life away. Many men, many men. Wish that all people that don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on you. Democrats put money on my head. Better go get your refund, cause I ain't dead. I'm the people that ain't been found. And I ain't been drowned. When I'm ready, something special happens every time. I'm the greatest. Something like it. Where's Tommy, Donald? This guy's making so much money, frankly, doesn't know what to do with it. Millions and millions of views. He's a great rapper, believe me, I would know. Frankly, as Trump the Don, I would know. Shout out to Tom. There he is. They murdered the country down with their progressiveness. Started with changing what gender is. They graduated that your life matters and your skin don't have melanin. They don't want peace, they want skeletons. They want men to pretend that they're feminine. They got so offended by they just start killing.
Hey, now look up every rap song that every black artist compared themselves to Donald Trump. They wanted to be the black Donald Trump. Look up all those motherfuckers. Look up how many times a black person said, "Oh, I want to be like Donald Trump." Look that up. Boys in the hood call me Black Donald Trump. Oh, make the block bump.
But now I can see that they're evil. See, I am that gang, you know, shot innocent people.
Right, yeah, fuck Donald Trump. Yeah,
why thank God the left can't eat. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave.
He's not here. Thank God the left can't eat. Thank God the right don't riot.
Why can't you just y'all are going this? They're not here. They try to do what you hate. This. Know this and trust the science, but it never makes sense to me. Why would you put all the amphetamines? They're stop what we don't have the energy. Tomorrow, like I ain't done yet. I took the thing that's how it's wrong. Y'all are exactly I don't send you for all of those. When a protest takes place, when a perfect Trump's the breaker that you've been troops and President Trump rather lose with your heart. They got the left can't aim. They got the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. For me to violence. Wish I was dying.
What you doing?
They got the aim. They're so inept. Trying to lock me up in a cage. Now you're trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed.
And remember, all white babies are one basic. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Thanks, Tom, for letting me do that video. Make sure you guys support Tom's new record, V-Men, iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you buy or stream.
Step upon me, in my eye out and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. Trying to change the only living go for fucking with me.
But did anybody see that beatdown Trump just gave Kamala tonight? Boy, good.
Hey. Mega is the gang and I'm banging my set now.
Hey.
Someone told the hood, me and YG friends now. Can't even blame you. Hate me cause the fake news. Evil looks good and good evil it's the same too. Go with the Hoovers, go with the Bloods. Even wrote
Nobody trying to play that foot, Donald.
Chief Keef, Oak Blood, Rock with Trump. Michael Bud was in the 305 Kimball Line. Took a trip to the hood and asked them a question. They said they don't feel Joe Biden represent them. Wanna take away our guns, but I keep the burner. PPP Army, you can call me Stimmy Turner. Biden crime family. Joe loses sanity. The left is running radically. Incoherent rambling. Joe for Trump, gay for Trump, black for Trump naturally. Latinos and Asian, every nationality. Wap, 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 wap. Trump mess him up. Wap, 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 wap. Biden is a god. Trump is done, and I got my ear to the street. Shut up, OD 720, Sleepy Hollow, Chef G. This man is a creep. I thought I would remind Jay, sniffing women's hair. Oh, wait, she's a minor.
What the fuck?
They not like Trump. 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 They not like Trump.
Hey, why don't you shut the fuck up before I stick my dick in?
It's your moment. Joe Rogan. I mean Joe Biden. Joe Davis.
Trump shit. Shut your ass up.
Barack Obama's BB.
You ain't black.
And this is my new song. Corn Pop was a bad dude. Me and Hunter got matching tattoos. But we got money from Ukraine gas companies. They paid in cash too. I was the first man to land on the moon. I invented the fork and spoon. I helped Michael Jackson write his tunes. I was there at George Washington's and when Peter invented the church, I taught Kelly Slater to serve. The greatest president on earth. I was there when Abe Kim was shot. His mom literally smoked pot. Used to be a fireman cop.
Hey. Trump the Don back at it again. Shout out Big Tucker, Alex Stein, JP Sears, Jordan Peterson, and Ben Shapiro. They call me racist. Fake news. Kodak Mazdo, I got love for my Haitians. They cool.
You got
the media full of these federal agents. Break rules. America first, these candidates hate it. And hate you. Keeping 10 toes down, stay true. Everybody, they were loving me. The media was switching up on me. Now they young trying to comfort me and get a little piece of my money. Greatest president of all time. If you think not, you're mistaken. The only president I love more is them blue honey penetrators. Some sex in the house. My toilet water's made of solid gold. I don't need gold in my mouth. Government is full of Congress, ignoring the Hillary servers. That's me really getting murdered. That was my bird. Trump steak, Trump water. Trump towers with Trump daughter. Trump wine, I'm a super gremlin. I don't care about that little Eminem. Try to do like OJ. No, the glove that don't fit.
Outside
it's about to be a cold pitch. No love for a snitch. They call me racist. Fake news. Hold up, Mazzo, I got love for my Haitians. They cool. The media full of these federal agents. Break rules. America first, these candidates hate them. And hate you. Keep it 10 toes down, stay true. Wow. We're making it out of Trump Towers with this one.
Towers.
control 2 objectives. Objective Bravo is compromised. Get it back.
Well,
Securing objective Bravo.
shut up, Entry J, Benny Johnson, Big Bongino, Alex Jones. Free my dogs, you lock up. The radical left's gone crazy. I don't bail, I won't see inside a cell. Shut up, Douglas, free my slime, slat, YSL. Trying to lock me up, but I'm plugged in ATL. Got homies doing life in jail, they living in hell. These DAs acting silly, my mugshot is worth a billy. So submerging me, shot me silly, got it silly. Shot the baby, shot the Sosa, Benny Butcher. Them my rollers call me racist, but these rappers riding with me, them my soldiers. Mega, I am not who they are after. I'm just in the way they want to get to you, but I won't let them call.
Securing objective Alpha. The enemy took Charlie. Enemy securing Bravo. We're taking Alpha.
I will stop the new
Securing objective Charlie. The enemy holds 2 objectives. Secure those positions. Securing objective Alpha. Enemy is taking Bravo. Enemy is securing Bravo. Hostiles deploy the Mosquito. The enemy holds all objectives. Do not fail. We're taking Bravo.
You have been assigned a federal war zone. Fuck me your life. You broke the assault to my spirit, and it's because of blood.
Enemy is in control of all objectives. We're taking Charlie. Enemy precision airstrike. Find cover. Securing objective Bravo.
For the voices, you can take it out with the lawyer. My nigga Finkel J. Bunny. I'm a low fried Dick Joe. I tell you, Ray, day before school, I saw the head blow. How you think I won best dressed with no support? I had no paid lawyers coming in and not a court. Hey, Wando, hey, Dino, ain't it a blessing? We made it out Kentucky after all that happened. After the pre-trials, after the status, after the impact statements, after the castle. Hey, JR, nigga. Ain't it a blessing? We made it out of last after all. After Mississippi State, when our lands come, the beach, put the money along the seas, mile, not your odds down, figure up, knock her bank down, pull her tracks out. Yes, I slam girl, yes, I slam door, yes, I slam loud, yes, I slap a pussy naked and be out. Now, yes, I got cases on the road, them killers, bro, kill me if I snitches, if you snitch, I'm no keeper, though. Spend a lot of time on the go, them the realest, they're torn, did I let niggas hold me, yeah, silly, I know ever. Because I do it better, plus I do it better than niggas, because I'm not home. I told the crackers holler at me when they sober, right? I'm a Billy. Hit the rolling stone with the rolling on. Yo, what was our Hey, I heard I had some conditions. The heart that ain't got a hit sick. Y'all entertain. I wish I would to these hospitals. Don't put my phone on the water.
In this fucking chimney like Santa Claus.
Why can't you with that strap if you ain't got no bodies? Why can't check if you want no lick if you ain't got no fuck off? You ain't no shit. You can't do this shit without no body. I came up and had the hose ready to count a hard 30 buses.
Outdoor kitchen.
Done and dusted. Requesting recon at my location.
Copy that. UAV is
Throwing
I
thermite.
just put my hands on visions up. So soon as I'm the finish trying to build a kitchen. I want the trial back to back, bitch. I'm 2-0. I D-Lady Kentucky banned me from marriage. I go here. I can't even be in public with my hell. Man, off. Michigan State don't want to be in. I know they prayed on my downfall, right? Thank you very much, everybody.
In this election, we each face the question, what kind of country do we want to live in? There are some people who think we should be a country of chaos, fear, hate. But us, we choose something different. We need to burn down every capitalist and imperialist system that exists. Freedom not just to get by, but get ahead. The freedom to be safe from gun violence. The freedom to make decisions about your own body. We choose a future where no child lives in poverty, where we can all afford health care, where no one is above the law. We believe in the goodness of America, and we're ready to fight for it. Because when we fight, we win. So join us. Go to KamalaHarris.com and let's get to work. People running because always people click on themselves.
Fuck it.
First black woman to be elected a district attorney in the state of California. First of all, it's important to remind the former president you're not running against Joe Biden, you're running against me. I believe the reason that Donald Trump says that this war would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up. And that's not good. I'm not like them. I can pretend the sun is on. But I have no light. Nothing is done. But I'm having fun. Nothing is done. Maybe just happy. I'm just happy. I'm just happy. I'm just happy. And I think I'm dumb. And I think I'm dumb. And I think I'm dumb. And I think I'm dumb.
Oh, good lord.
Be bored.
Tonight, gonna have myself.
What the fuck? It's wild, dude.
We're taking Charlie. Charlie secure. Hardcore. Domination. Capture all objectives. Eliminate those against us.
Foo Fighters donating to Kamala.
Enemy securing Bravo. Losing Charlie.
But it's also about what is the culture of the
Objective Alpha.
How are we approaching this issue in a way that we also understand we cannot support and help our young people if we also don't also look at the context in which those young people live and are being response, which means necessarily our edict and our mission is not to come out and say, well, we could do this better. Part of the extension of the work you will do is, yes, focused on our young leaders and our young people, but understanding we also then have to be clear and their grandparents and their teachers and the community. Because none of us live in a bubble. Everything's Christ. My mother said she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You think in the context of all that you live and what came from you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context.
Hostile care package. Enemy securing Bravo. We control 2 objectives.
Oh, sorry, Jimmy.
Enemies taking Bravo.
What the fuck, man? These motherfuckers wild, man.
Got 2 camping C.
That's their spawn, but
It's their spawn, but they're camping like in the little hut.
it be. Got me one. But these niggas ain't playing, boy. Now his seat.
Hostile UAV in the area.
So all of this is part of one.
What's C?
Extraordinary.
No, A, I mean.
How we think about.
The time has come for closing statements, and Vice President Harris, we begin with you.
So I think you have to.
I like how they had the comments off the whole time.
We're taking Charlie.
Done and dusted.
Objective Bravo secure. Securing objective Charlie. Enemy UAV
Not even in the spot.
taking Alpha. Securing objective Alpha. Friendly UAV online.
Way to camp outside Charlie and not take it.
Alpha secure. Enemy securing
Okay.
Bravo.
Better throw a grenade, bitch.
I'm hardly bleeding.
Friendly cluster mine planting.
Getting that.
Take down the top and watch the
Why'd he stand up? Why the fuck did he stand up, bro? That's crazy.
Enemies taking Bravo. Taking Charlie. We've lost Alpha. We've lost everything. Reclaim the objective.
Go mine out.
Objective Charlie secure. Enemy securing Charlie.
This bitch. Alright, just for that. Who was it? Better not let me catch you that.
Taking Bravo.
Yeah.
UAV on station. The enemy holds 2 objectives.
Got it. There he did. There he is. PTV.
I'll fill
He
this
wants
with
all the
one.
smoke.
That one's dead.
We're taking Alpha. We're losing Charlie.
Right now we be taking everything. I don't understand what's going on.
We control Alpha.
Requesting recon flyover.
Copy that. Enemy securing Charlie. Enemy taking Alpha. Charlie compromised. Get it back.
Garage, in the garage.
Throwing thermite!
Be advised, UAV is exiting the AO. Enemy taking Alpha. Enemy UAV active. Hostile SAE.
I'm about to get all killed.
Securing objective Charlie.
Don't take A, dumbass. Take C, man. Do something.
The enemy controls everything. Take it back. Taking Charlie.
Alright, like they good. They're not good. This is crazy.
Hostile UAV in the area. Hostile counter UAV overhead. Enemy UAV active.
It's invisible.
We're taking Bravo. Hostile frontline active. Securing objective Bravo. We control Bravo.
Garage is in the garage. Full house headed towards C.
Enemy securing Bravo.
Oh yeah, I'm coming for you, boy. Coming for you.
We've secured 2 objectives. Enemies taking Bravo.
There it is.
Objective Bravo is
Oh,
compromised.
very stupid little bitch. Oh,
Hostile Mosquito is online.
This one's sleepy.
But they're moving in ways that really is not possible.
Hostiles launched a cruise missile. Hostile care package. Hostile UAV in the area. We're taking Bravo. Enemy UAV active. Hostile SAE near your position. Securing objective Bravo. Securing objective Alpha.
Oh, of course, of course.
We're taking Bravo.
You know what? Have B, motherfucker.
Losing Charlie.
Oh shit, sorry.
Enemy securing Charlie.
Yeah, I'm coming back to B, bitch.
Thermite out!
Losing Charlie. We're taking Alpha.
Oh,
UAV in the area.
man, this is fucking crazy, dude.
Enemy securing Charlie. Securing objective Bravo.
I don't watch somebody spawn and run away. Point where they'll take.
Hostile SAE incoming. We're taking Bravo. Objective Bravo secured. Enemy securing Bravo.
Shot goes.
Getting hit hard.
Oh,
Enemy taking Bravo. Hostile SAE near your position. We've lost Bravo.
Dude, what the
it's like every other match. It's totally on the shittiest team in the competition.
barely a scratch.
These bitches done backed out. They done died every goddamn time and left.
We're taking Bravo.
That's real cool.
Coming out like second to last on the team and blaming everybody else.
Yo, that was the most easiest game I've ever played in my life. 62 kills. 62, let's go. Aimbot, what? I'm playing on an Xbox One. What are you talking about?
Huh?
Multiple enemies here. Throwing flash grenade.
We have taken the lead. Reloading. Chasing back. We've lost the lead. Confirmed. Kill confirmed. Kill them and secure their death.
Getting shot at.
They're falling apart. Break them. We've secured the lead.
Watch out.
Kill confirmed.
Toxic stick. Throwing flash grenade.
Select one.
Throwing Semtex. Cracked one.
We're tied with the enemy.
Target eliminated.
The enemy's taken the lead.
Tossing sticky grenade. Get
UAV on station.
enemy here.
Target down.
Moving it to my... Forget it. Hostile here.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Moving. Enemy mark. Enemy here. Thermite! Take cover! I'm hardly bleeding. Oh, enemy marked.
Contact. Hostile
We
here.
have the UAV on station.
On your six.
Sniper's down.
Trophy system out.
Changing back.
Enemy hostage. Clock ticking.
Now we're even.
What's your back?
I got your six. Contact.
Hostiles launched the cruise missile. Hostiles deployed a mosquito.
Enemy incoming.
Done and dusted. Ah! This is how you treat your friends?
Hostile mosquito is online. Hostiles deployed and hot turret.
Throwing flash grenade. Enemy in the area. Sticky grenade. Ah, that one's dead.
Hostiles
Take
deployed
down
a
the top
mosquito.
and watch the rest fall.
Blood for blood.
Tag secure. Kill confirmed.
Now we're even.
Kill confirmed. Enemy precision airstrike. Find cover. Confirmed. Confirm that one.
Done and dusted.
1 minute remaining.
Sniper's down.
Throwing subtext. I got the six.
Guys, we've failed.
Whip your cocks out, I wanna smell it. I want to smell